Back in the house with a 9-4.
You did good, sir.
I feel like Princess Peach, rose gold on my Mercedes. Rose gold on my bitch, looking like her name Mercedes. I need a hoe who down on them eyes, what up ladies? Switched out the friendly smile, but the face that reads, fuck you pay me. Ain't got rabies, I just overdose off coke, and if I know, they hope I die.
Another episode of XiX Pick Em. My name is XiX.
My name is Ethan from Mistaken for Bacon.
And of course, we do want to apologize for not coming out last week. Kind of took a break, a little bit of easing our mind. As you can tell, though, we have a little bit of surprise, a new setup here, and a new special guest. The reason why he's here is because it's his house. But you guys know him as Big Lou. I also know him as my brother. Everybody, please welcome my brother, Louis.
What's going on, man?
It's okay. I know.
What's
Sleep, like, across the hall from me.
I know.
Anyways, how was y'all weekend?
Pretty
Fuck, I feel so small now. But how was your weekend?
Just, a little crazy, nothing too crazy, but I'm sure you guys had a good weekend yourselves.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was alright.
Got to celebrate my birthday a little late. Got to see my little brother get really drunk and
I still feel
pass
it.
out.
I still feel it.
I'm sure you did.
It's been a day and a half already, and I still feel it. But also, we got our queen Maxine here. Oh, quick little announcement actually. I guess you could say breaking news. Marty Snow has officially relinquished the XiX Sports Network Championship. It is now no longer with a champion. It is in talks that we might do a college football tournament, and whoever wins that tournament will be the new XiX Sports Network Championship. I suck at college football, so I'm not gonna fucking win that shit. But you, Ethan, how do you feel like your odds will be in it?
Guys, I'm just gonna tell you flat out, I'm gonna win that title, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited for that. We'll see how fun the games are. But I play that game almost every day. It's the funnest game that came out this year, and yeah, that'll be mine soon. So
How many hours do you have on that game?
102 according to PlayStation.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
All right, but we did miss the week 4 of last week. How was your week 4? How would you enjoy week 4 since the Raiders defeated the Browns?
I saw it coming, so I just knew it was gonna happen. So it was a good weekend, and I think the only bad part about the weekend was that Dallas won. Definitely ruined my weekend.
You unfortunately on the other side of the end. Your team lost. How was yours?
So it was a bad game between the Browns. Between the Rams and the Bears. The Rams couldn't get anything going in the first half. Yeah. But I'll give credit where credit's due. The Bears kind of figured everything out. Finally, the last 3 weeks they've struggled, but against us they seem to have shined. There's some positives going for the Bears. For us, we just need to clean things up. We don't have that great of a linebacker core. Injuries, of course, still killing us and all. But it's early in the year, so we'll see what happens in these next coming weeks.
Injuries are killing y'all too, man.
Yeah, injuries have been pretty bad for us too. No Max Crosby, no Devontae Adams, no Divine Diablo, our starting linebacker. But next man up mentality. The guys stepped up. A bunch of undrafted, guys. Some rookies, some guys that have second, third year, but they all stepped up. Especially our safety, Troy Polamalu's nephew, Little Palmau. He did really good for us. Sack, good pass breakup when we needed it the most. But everybody stepped up. So ultimately, it was a good week. A lot of drama this week for the Raiders, as usual. It's the Raiders, NFL hates us. But, there's only one nation. Raider Nation. It is what it is.
And the injury bug seems to catch the Cowboys as well. Michael Parsons going down with a high ankle sprain, unfortunately. Now he's going to be gone for a couple weeks. And it's just tough because we play the Steelers this week at Heinz Field. As the Steelers maybe are not the toughest offensively, but they still have that hard defense, hard-hitting defense. And Cowboys, I feel like if we go in against a complete defense, we crumble like that.
Yeah.
That's worrisome, especially with our top defensive end. But nonetheless, let's go to our week 4 picks. I actually win this week, finally, after losing 2 weeks, 9-7, and Ethan, you actually went down at 7-9. You told me that you were trying to pick a lot of upsets. I guess the only thing that got upset was you. What happened?
So right there, there's a lot of games where I think some teams should have won, but they didn't, And there was some upsets too on the other side, with the Eagles losing to the Buccaneers. I don't think anybody expect that, as well as the Broncos beating the Jets. You know what I mean?
What a boring game.
No, that's even boring. So
it was a great game it was a great year. A great week for the NFL. I think there was a lot of fun games, but a lot of blowouts too. You know what I mean? So, I'm still gonna try to pick a little bit more upsets. There's a lot of things going on this year with the NFL. Honestly, in my honest opinion, this is the most fun I've had watching the NFL this year. Even though my team's not, they're struggling, but there's a lot of things going on. A lot of question marks about the Super Bowl, like who's gonna be there, who's not gonna be there, and so it's still up in the air. I feel like personally it's up for grabs for anybody. Kansas City, the repeating champions, not playing as well, so we'll see what happens. I've enjoyed this year.
Yeah, it's definitely been up and down. I mean, unfortunately, Kansas City, man, the refs just keep finding a way to bail them out every damn time. But ugly wins, but wins are wins. I mean, but yeah, I mean, right now, the AFC, I guess if you had to name a top runner, I mean, how do you leave out Patrick Mahomes? But they look okay. They don't look like themselves now that they lost. What's his name? Rashid Rice.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes
took him out.
laid him out. Turned into Sean Taylor all of a sudden, but took out his own player. But besides that, I mean, Baltimore surprised me beating the Bills, but it just goes to show you how unpredictable it is. I mean, first 3 weeks, everybody was ready to name the Saints Super Bowl champs at home.
Yeah.
Derek Carr, who I love either way. I mean, I thought he was MVP status.
Yeah.
And they've dropped 2 in a row. I mean, it's up. It really is up for grabs, but the NFC to me is the most tricky one because the Vikings, like, who the hell, like, I mean, I didn't think they were gonna do good with JJ McCarthy. Honestly, I didn't expect him to do very good. I mean, he showed glimpses, but kind of very inconsistent. But either way, the Niners up and down as well. They're usually like. Who else is pretty surprising in the NFC?
I would say, I'm gonna have to go.
Commanders are probably starting to build up a little bit. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Commanders. I like to see that though. But I mean, that's the beauty of the NFL. Every week everybody rides the highs, and then the next there's the lows. It just keeps changing. But I'd love to see some new people in the NFL. I'm tired of seeing the same people in the playoffs, the same Chiefs team. I mean, it'd be nice to see something different. Yeah, honestly. Exactly. And then with the downfall of Miami, that's probably the hardest one for me because I really saw Miami. Last year I thought they were going to go far. If they wouldn't have played in that cold ass game against Kansas City, it would have been. I think it would have been a different game. But it sucks to see their downfall. Hopefully to recover soon. But yeah, the NFL's weird this year.
It is weird. The NFL's drunk this year. The official picks though I picked was the Cowboys, Jets, Saints, Bengals, Rams, Vikings, Texans, Colts, Eagles, Niners, Cardinals, Chiefs, Browns, Ravens, Miami, and Lions. But the ones that I got wrong were the Jets, Saints, Rams, Eagles, Cardinals, Browns, and Miami. For Ethan, he picked Cowboys, Bengals, Saints, Texans, Jets, Vikings, Steelers, Rams, Eagles, 49ers, Cardinals, Chargers, Browns, Bills, Tennessee, and Lions. I'm running out of breath. For the picks that he got wrong were the Saints, Jets, Steelers, Rams, Eagles, Cardinals, Chargers, Browns, and Buffalo. Fortunately, I'm not trying to talk about this because it'll be a long-ass episode, so we are going to skip it. Up next, we'll be coming up with our college football results after this, because I got too much. We're back, and for Texas football. For college football was kind of for me this week. Texas did end up beating Michigan State, Mississippi State. They hit my mic, huh? Yeah, they hit my mic. But Texas did defeat Mississippi State 35-13. One thing is, Texas actually dropped from number 1 to number 2, and I straight think that's bullshit. I complete bullshit. Texas should be still number 1, but whatever. Luckily,
Roll Tide.
Luckily, Texas plays Oklahoma this week, Red River Showdown. I feel like it's going to be another chance for them to prove how they are. We'll talk about that later, though. Ethan, your NMSU actually got lost against the University of New Mexico 50-40. Sounds like a hell of a game. What happened there?
So they're in the Rio Grande rivalry, over there in Albuquerque. It's always wild. Just another showing by NMSU they came up a little bit short. Quarterback play wasn't the best ever since we lost our quarterback last year, Diego Pavia, who's tearing it up with Vanderbilt, by the way, which, I love for them. I love for our former head coach, Jared Kill, So
I didn't even know I didn't even realize he transferred.
He did,
I was there at the game.
The coach transferred too?
Yep.
Where to?
So the quarterback.
And he took the quarterback?
Yep. So some big blows
That's
there.
good shit though.
I mean, yeah. NIL, man. NIL.
So some big blows there, but I am happy for them. They're tearing it up in the SEC. Hopefully Vanderbilt can come, to something different.
He said big blows.
For NMSU, we're just gonna have to work on some things. It's like a 1-4 now, so definitely not as good as the season as we had last year. But growing pains and everything. It was a good battle against New Mexico, the Lobos, which is another team. I don't have much hate for, even though that's kind of a heated rivalry there. It was a fun game, honestly. I'm looking forward to the next coming weeks. That showed me that they can compete at least in the lower tier of college football. The Conference USA players, and all I can say is that I'm excited for the Battle of I-10. Towards the end of the year.
It's the last game of the year, actually. That's going to be exciting. Michigan actually defeats Minnesota 24-27. You're also a Michigan Wolverines fan. What happened there?
So right there, Michigan was dominant. They lit up some points in garbage time. So the score doesn't look as pretty as you would want it. But you know what? In the first half, it was a bunch of run game. That's Michigan's bread and butter is the run game. Donovan Edwards, Khalil Mullings. Two of my favorite running backs, and of course Alex Orji finally starting in the offense, finally getting it together. Michigan. I don't know what's going to happen with the year. I don't think it's going to be a year that repeats. Unfortunately, we lost too many people last year to the NFL draft, which I'm happy for them as well. Michigan's really produced everything. They lost Jim Harbaugh as well. So it's definitely a big blow to us, but I think it's been a good year so far. So we're going to see where it goes.
UTEP didn't lose this week. And it's because they're on a bye. They're on a bye week. They didn't have a game. And it actually turns out that UTEP might actually move from Conference USA to Mountain West, actually. Interesting, because CUSA is pretty boring and pretty lame. But UTEP sucks, so it is kind of worrisome. Mountain West is not the strongest conference, but a little bit stronger than CUSA. There's even rumors, though, that UTEP might have joined the Pac-12, though. Imagine that. That wouldn't have been pretty.
No, not have been bad.
But in other college football news, we'll still Alabama fan.
Yeah, man. I mean, we started out great, 28-0. They started to come back, but man, that little young dude, that phenom, man,
Ryan Williams.
17 years old out there, just making us grown men look bad. But no, I mean they carved out the dub, now we're number one. Some people hate it, but it is what it is. We're number one. But if you can't beat us, well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Texas looks good. I mean, don't get me wrong, Texas looks great, but I mean, you can't. Just Alabama holds that big name, very flashy. I mean, it doesn't seem like they slowed down without Nick Saban or anything like that. And they lost a lot of people in the draft, too. Georgia did, too. I mean, those guys are still operating on fire as well. It was a good game. I look forward to the playoffs now for college football.
College football is going to be, I think we discussed it before, 12-team playoff format this time.
It's going to be good.
Not just with, 4 fucking teams. It's going to be a bracket.
Yeah.
So a 12th seed can win the national championship. A 3rd seed can win the national championship. A 6th, 7th. That's going to be interesting. Other than that, I think we can just go ahead and start with our NFL Week 5 picks after this. All right, guys, we're back with the NFL. I'm sorry, what the fuck? We're back with XiX Pick Em. This time, it is now time. Can you believe it? Already 5 weeks into this?
Week 5.
At first, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even think we were gonna go past week 1, but here we are. We missed one episode, but that's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Things happen.
It made up for the different settings. Nice little setting. Nice little cool night here in El Paso or Horizon.
Real
Wherever.
nice today. Real nice today.
Real nice.
Beautiful.
But nonetheless, you guys ready?
Yeah,
Did you pre-pick?
I did.
Did you pre-pick?
I did.
Okay. We're gonna make that a thing. We're gonna check if they pre-pick. Because Thrash, when he picked the first special guest, he didn't pre-pick, and he picked the worst games possible.
I mean, it's trash. What else do you expect?
Yeah, true. All right. Nonetheless, Thursday Night Football, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks going against the Atlanta Falcons. Louis, you wanna go ahead and say?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna go with the hot hand right now, man. I mean, I like the Bucks. I'm not gonna lie. I think the Bucks. Baker Mayfield, career rejuvenated. He's out there slinging it, talking shit. But he has a good team around him, and it doesn't seem like injuries have affected him very much. They're out there looking good, so I'm gonna go with them. Don't get me wrong, the Falcons. I mean, they almost beat Kansas City. I feel like they got lucky against the Saints this last weekend. I personally, that PI call to me it was bullshit. But I mean, they still look good. I mean, but I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
You think?
So adding on to that, I agree completely what he said. Baker Mayfield having a career resurgence, which I think that everybody can give the Los Angeles Rams credit for. We brought him
This
in.
guy.
Sean McVay helped him turn his career around.
You guys beat the shit out of us on Thursday Night Football. The Raiders.
Exactly, you know what I mean?
He fried us. Yeah, man, I
So,
remember.
I'm happy for him. I've always been a long time fan of his ever since he was at Oklahoma. Lighting it up every.
Grabbing his junk and everything.
exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for everything that's happened for him. He's finally in a team that loves and respects him, and that he can be a leader of. Other than him, the Tampa Bay squad, they still have everybody from the Super Bowl team.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
pretty much, yeah.
Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and a lot of new pieces like Kate Otten, and they still have their defense. Todd Bowles is still, a veteran of the NFL. I have Chris Godwin on my fantasy team, by the way, so I love you, Chris Godwin.
I have Mike Evans on my fantasy team, actually.
I don't think I have any Bucks players, but yeah, I don't have anybody. But I was watching some of the clips. Did you guys see Tom Brady was kind of criticizing
I
Baker
did
Mayfield?
See that.
Yeah.
I did see that.
He said that they liked him there because he was fun and stuff. Kind of, I don't know if he's throwing a little jab at Tom Brady, taking it too serious. But I mean, hey, championships. Like Tom Brady said, he's like, to me, having fun is winning championships, and he brought him one. But I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was.
That was pretty funny.
And for my pick, I'm gonna have to agree too. Falcons look tough. They look exciting as well. I'm gonna have to agree that they got lucky against the Saints because that call was kind of soft. I don't know about pass interference. That was a little bit much. That did kind of help them set up the win. I'm gonna have to take the Bucks on this one. I feel like they're more of the tougher team. Baker Mayfield's exciting to watch. I hate saying that an Oklahoma Sooner is exciting to watch, but he is exciting to watch. And I have like a personal I'm a personal fan favorite of Mike Evans. He's always been one of my favorite receivers since I was young. So I'm like always gonna be like a little bit of a Buck fan just because of Mike Evans. So I'm gonna have to pick the Bucks here. Starting off our Sunday night or our Sunday morning, actually, I'm gonna wake up and there's gonna be a game finished. The New York Jets playing the Minnesota Vikings in London. Actually, Lewis, wanna go ahead and start?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be awake.
Yes, you are. You guys are the
I
early
know,
birds.
right?
Fuck no, I'm not.
That's true.
I'm not gonna be awake.
That's true. That game is a little tricky to me. I think this is gonna be the biggest, to me personally, the biggest test for the Vikings, just because that Jet defense, with Sauce and all those guys out there, that D line. I think Sam Darnold's gonna feel the pressure this weekend, and I mean he's either gonna do great or just fall flat on his face. But I feel like every time they go play out of like country like that, they have such a hard time. Those games are usually boring.
Yeah, because of the jet lag, the different
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
time
They're just
settings
not
and
very
whatnot.
entertaining. But I guess if I have to pick a team, I'm gonna go with. I'm sure everybody's gonna go with the Vikings, being one of the only undefeated teams. But I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with the Jets.
Are you saying that because you're looking at my list? Or?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just gonna go with the Jets just because, Aaron Rodgers is still kind of building that relationship with his team, recovering from his injury. But I mean, the Jets, they're just any moment away from just exploding because Breece Hall is dope. You got Garrett Wilson, he's dope. What's that other receiver's name? I forget his damn name. But they just have a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they have a good team. They're just at any moment now, they're just going to figure it all out and go forward. Because, I mean, you've seen glimpses of old Aaron Rodgers, but I think it's going to take him some time I think he needs to lay off all those shrooms and all the stuff he does. But he's getting there. He's definitely getting there.
You, Ethan?
So for me, I mean, this game's gonna be over in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, South London. I love Premier League football, you know what I mean? So I always love these London games, seeing where they're played, seeing all the London fans get excited about American football. It helps grow the game. I'm definitely gonna be watching this game because for me, I'm gonna have to take the Minnesota Vikings there. I think Sam Darnold is tearing it up. I think he'll continue to tear it up. The Vikings are a team that they have a lot of pieces around them. Justin Jefferson, in my opinion, is the best wide receiver in football. They have a decent offensive line. They have Aaron Jones, the El Paso boy. He's tearing it up every week for them.
It's cool seeing him in purple and yellow again. Because
Exactly.
obviously, if you guys don't know, he went to Burgess High School.
Yeah.
Burgess High School is purple yellow colors. So
Got a lot of love
pretty
from
dope.
Green Bay
Exactly.
fans this weekend.
The defense
Yeah,
for
he did.
them.
They got a lot of love.
The defense for them is just it's stellar. Every week they've been putting up points. I can't argue against them, man. They have our head coach. I mean, our offensive coordinator from our Super Bowl winning team, Kevin O'Connell. I love that guy. They have a lot of former Rams on their team. I love the Vikings. They're a good team. They always get it together. This year kind of reminds me of back in 2017 it was when they lost Sam Bradford. and Case Keenum, the backup, came in, stepped up, and got them to the NFC Championship. Maybe it'll be like that. I don't know. It's too early to tell, but I'm gonna have to go with the hot hand here. I think that the Jets struggled last week against the Broncos. I love Aaron Rodgers, but I think this week the Vikings they got it. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota.
I think on this one I'm gonna have to. I made this pick based off of momentum. Jets, yes, they have the talent like Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers is fucking Aaron Rodgers, but they're not. They haven't. Last week they looked rough. In a game where it's a freaking rookie quarterback who also looks rough, he only threw for 60 yards in that game. Who does that? But it's Little League stats. If they even reach the 60 yards. I'm about to take the Vikings on this one. I feel like they're one of the last undefeated teams. Shocking. Aaron Jones, our boy, is on the team. It's going to be exciting to watch. I feel like with all the momentum and the fact they're on fire, they're going to take the win easily on this one. And then starting off for the people that wake up at normal hours, Panthers at Bears. Go ahead, Luis.
Well, the Panthers, I hate the Panthers right now. I mean, they beat my Raiders. We had the Red Rifle out there looking like MVP status, his old Cincinnati days. But hey, he's 4-0 against us. He always beats us. I don't know what it is about that guy, but he always beats us. And I knew it. Yeah, he's always beat us. Like I knew it.
That fucking sucks.
I know.
They started him right when they played the Raiders.
It's like they knew it. They were like, hey, it's the Raiders. I know how to beat these guys. I got it, But I told my roommate, he was like, bro, that dude always beats us. He's going to fucking beat us. And sure enough, I mean, from start to finish, he whooped our ass. But you know what? I'm going to go with the Bears. I think that they have a really dynamic offense that's still trying to figure it out little by little. But, they got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze. Little by little, they're picking it up. Running back did pretty good, so he picked it up. What's his name, Swift? Yeah, Swift. Yeah, he did pretty good. Once you get that running game going, that play action going, that's what, Caleb Williams, he's a great talent, but I think that he talked too much. The pressure has been getting to him a little bit. I think he needs to paint his nails a different color because whatever he's been doing is not working. but I think they're gonna take the win this week.
For sure.
Yeah, I think they're gonna take a win.
I'm gonna have to agree with him on that. The Bears, they got us last week. Like he said, they finally figured it together. Their offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. I think they're starting to do a little bit different schemes, starting to work with what works best for them. Yeah. They have a really talented roster.
They do. Yeah, defense too.
And I just think that everything is finally starting to click for them. Some teams take a bit of time to grow and to get to where they need to be, and I think the Bears are doing that. We saw it last week. They beat us. So it was a pretty fun game, and their defense, they looked good all year. The offense has just needed to figure it out, and I think last week they have. We're gonna see how they do against the Panthers. I think the Panthers are also a team that's figuring something out with Andy Dalton. You know what I mean? Yeah. Chuba Hubbard is he's still doing really well. So I think it'll be a better game than people expect, but I think that Chicago's definitely gonna pull it out. Like he said, Caleb Williams, is finally getting it together. I think he's top 5 in passing yards in the league right now, something like that. So I think the Bears are gonna go ahead and get their season on track and get this win.
Well, that's crazy because the Bears have never had a quarterback go over 3,000 yards.
Yeah,
or something?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
I think he'll break that record.
Yeah, because Bears have had just a bad track record of just quarterback. I can't even name a Bear quarterback after fucking Jay Cutler.
I mean, neither. I don't even know. Well, what they have,
Mitchell Trubisky,
who they took over
right.
Patrick
And
Mahomes
Justin
or
Fields.
something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They picked him over fucking. Oh, and Justin
You know
Fields,
what? I really don't think Fields was the problem, but I mean,
No,
to
I
each
think
their
1,000
own.
can agree to that.
I mean, he did good. He had good games, but that O-line was always horrible. We had no weapons, which I thought it was sad that right when they start getting all these awesome weapons, building an awesome team, they're like, all right, bye, Justin.
Yeah,
but I mean, if you get an opportunity to get a generational talent, well, that we all, well, I'm hoping I'm pulling for him, but we don't know yet for sure. Seen glimpses, but you think Caleb Williams is generational. So if you get a chance to get a generational talent, will you take it?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's no knock on Justin. I mean, he's doing good too out there with the Steelers. Got their first loss this weekend.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. I mean, and then they got a guaranteed dub this coming up week. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel like this one's gonna be easy for the Bears. I'm about to take the Bears on this one too. I still kind of a Caleb Williams hater. I don't know. I just don't see it, but maybe he can shut me up this week and he'll take the win over the Panthers. Up next, we have the most probably boring team, Browns, taking on the most exciting team right now, the Commanders.
Yeah, I mean, pretty boring. I mean, the Browns. It's crazy because the Browns have all the talent. I mean, last year they were top 5 defense. Offensively, they have all the talent. Like they have Jerry Jeudy, Amari Cooper. Like I just don't get it how they don't figure it out. I mean, the O line is horrible. I mean, we had backups out there and we were running them. Like I mean, they had the first drive they scored a touchdown. After that, 3-and-outs, punts, interceptions, and we had 2 starters out there.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, man, I don't know what it's gonna take for them to figure it out. Maybe Deshaun Watson needs another massage or something. Needs to change masseuse. Maybe call it his old Houston masseuse or something. But he seems like a shell of himself for that price tag too. That's crazy. But I really think the Commanders they're going up right now. I mean, Jaden Daniels had another great game. He just looks good as a rookie. I feel like he's running and he's gunning. He's doing a good job, but he's not putting himself in situations to get hurt, which is good because I was really worried about that. I was worried he was gonna be another like RG3, just taking hits unnecessarily, But he's doing good though. He looks good, and I think it's gonna continue. Him and Scary Terry out there is gonna keep building that relationship on field. And they got other key pieces that are not too bad. So I'm gonna have to go with the Commanders.
You think?
So I'm gonna have to agree with him. He kind of said what I was thinking. Just Jaden Daniels kind of reminds me of RG3. In his rookie year, tearing it up and everything.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing happens.
Hopefully he doesn't tear up that UCL. Yeah.
And I love Jaden Daniels. I always liked Commanders. As they used to be the Redskins.
Redskins will always be a better name. I don't care. Redskins will always be a better name.
They could have gone with anything else but the Commanders. For
Yeah.
But they like you said, they have key pieces. They've always had key pieces. It's just been bad ownership and bad coaching.
Yeah.
And they finally found their coach. Former Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, their offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury. He's getting everything together. Their defense still isn't as good, I think, as they want it to be. It's shaky, but it's a new team. That's expected. Their offense though is tearing the league up, and I look forward to seeing what they do this year. I think the Cowboys might have some trouble with them. I think Philadelphia's gonna have some trouble with them, and New York's definitely gonna have some trouble with them.
New York has trouble with itself, bro.
I think Washington's definitely the team to look at in that division, and the team to beat in that division because of the inconsistency of Dallas. But I mean, you can never count them out. Those rivalry games could go either way. I mean, it's always crazy. It's like Dallas could be, 12-3 and then go play,
not the Giants, but the 1-11 Commanders.
Anybody in your division, really, you can bowl the Eagles.
Well, because Cowboys have always been like an NFC East killer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like those games are really intense all the time, but you guys always win them anyways. But it is what it is. But I think Washington looks good this year.
What's your pick, you think?
So I'm gonna have to go in with the Commanders. Like they said, the Browns not really figuring things out. They have a talented roster, but things are gonna change, and I think it's in the quarterback position. Hopefully Nick Chubb comes back soon, but like you said, Washington, they're cooking it up. I think that this could be a changing of the guard of the NFC East, so watch out for them.
Commanders look exciting, and it's crazy because I solely thought it was just gonna be Cowboys Eagles competing for the NFC East first place division win or whatever. Commanders just came out of nowhere. That's on me for doubting them, especially because our defensive coordinator who made our defense solid the past couple of years went over and took over the helm. Now they made a good team, so it is kind of getting worrisome, but I as well is going to take the Commanders to win. Up next, we got the Dolphins at Patriots.
Dolphins at Patriots? I'm going to go with the Patriots. I mean, the Dolphins, they're just there. Yeah, they're not. If I was them, I would go bring back their old girlfriend, Ryan Tannehill or something. Because, Skylar Thompson, he's not going to cut it out, And Tua... Have they even said how long he's going to be out for?
I think like 4 or 5 weeks.
Damn, no way. That's
man. That dude is risking his life for no reason. I mean, he already got that big contract. I mean, he's already. I mean, he's overcome the odds. I mean, that injury in college was crazy too. But I mean, why take so many unnecessary hits too? I mean,
he could have just simply gone down.
Yeah, that run was crazy. But I mean, that's beyond the point. But they just kind of don't. They don't look like they got it, which is crazy because. You have 2 great running backs. Run the ball. You got A-Chain. You got Mostert. Just run the ball. Establish the run game. Some play action. Something, You can go even 3-4 wide because they have Waddle and Hill and all these good weapons, but I just don't. They're lost.
Yeah.
They're lost right now. So we'll have to go with the Patriots. The Patriots. I mean, the one thing you always know is the Patriots are going to bring that strong, hard nose football defense. You know, and Gerard Mayo, former linebacker. You know, linebacker, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's tough, man, tough. You know, and I think that defense is going to do good. Their quarterback situation is shaky as well. Sometimes Jacoby Brissett, sometimes Drake May, and I don't know. I would just go with the young guy. I mean, you know Jacoby Brissett's ceiling. You know what he's done. You know who he is. Might as well go with the unknown kid and just let him learn. You know, trial by fire. I mean, you've already thrown him out there before. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe the rookie would do better, but either way, I think the Patriots are gonna take that one.
You either?
So for me, I'm gonna have to agree too. You know, the Patriots are a team earlier in the year after they win against the Bengals. I said that might be a sleeper team. You know, they've had some close losses to good teams the past couple of weeks. They got beat down by the Niners. It was just an offensive line problem, which is why for me, I think Jacoby Brissett should start the rest of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Drake May needs to learn the offense. I think he needs to sit. You know, we've seen a lot of great quarterbacks sit and learn under their quarterbacks and become good. So I think they still are a team that fights. They're always going to fight. Gerard Mayo, I think he's a good coach. I think they're going to get it together at some point. It's not going to be this year. I think this year's a tank year for them probably.
Yeah.
But
I think so too.
I think they're going to be still a team that fights and they're not going to give up easily. On the Dolphins side of things, Tua Tagovailoa is going to be out. That's pivotal. Tonight, actually, the Monday Night Football game against the Titans, they didn't look good at all. With Tyler Huntley at quarterback, I think that even with their weapons being available, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, it just shows you the quarterback position is really important. I don't think the Dolphins they're gonna have this slump here in October, and we'll see when they get them back. But right now it's not looking good for them. I think that New England's gonna take advantage of that for sure. I think they're gonna win this football game.
You think there's a quarterback out there somewhere, whether it be a trade or free agency still, that might be lurking somewhere that they can probably get?
If they could trade for Cooper Rush.
Well,
I don't think Cowboys would give him up.
I mean, I don't know about that one. Had to be a Cowboy fan to bring up that one. Just kidding.
Cooper Rush fucking
No, he's
win.
all right. He's
4-0
all right.
last
He's
time.
good. He's good. I'm just kidding.
I think
I would go get Jameis Winston from the
for
Browns
sure.
or
Jameis
something.
Winston's good
Yeah.
too.
they could get back Ryan Tannehill, or they could trade for Rams backup quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who
You know who I would love to see? Because you're never going to see him, especially after the beautiful game Jared Goff had today.
Oh yeah.
But Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, no.
I would love to see that kid just go out there and do something. Or even, now the Falcons are not going to let go
Phoenix.
of Penix.
Nah, not
for
gonna
sure.
They're not going to let him go. He's the future. But I mean, Hendon Hooker, I would love to see Hendon Hooker out there because I think he looked good in the preseason, and I think he looks good out there every now and then. Every time I've seen clips of him.
Mm-hmm.
Or even the third string quarterback for the Patriots.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's his name? I can't forget his name. His name escapes me. But he looked good in the combine. He looked good. He just went late because of his injuries, but his name will come to me and I'll remember. but I mean, there has to be a quarterback somewhere that could help. I feel like that team's too expensive and too talented to just tank this season.
No, yeah, I agree.
Honestly.
Me personally, yeah, for the Dolphins, yeah. I think they had to do something because having Jalen Waddle, having Tyreek Hill, someone generational with generational speed, speed kills. You can do anything with speed. And you're not going to take advantage of that. That's a waste of a year. I'm going to have to agree. Patriots are taking this one easily. Skylar Thompson's not the answer. Simple as that. Up next, we got the Colts at Jaguars. You want to go for Lewis?
I'll let him go first because our picks, like, we have the same opinion. So I kind of want to hear yours first. You can take this one.
So for me, I'm gonna have to ride with the Indianapolis Colts. I've been high on Anthony Richardson all year. I love that guy. I think that he's a little reckless with the football, but I think that they're gonna get it together at some point. And obviously, they beat Pittsburgh last week. I think which was a great win for the Colts. I think they can still be. They have good pieces. They have good pieces. They have good coaching. They're gonna get it together at some point. I think that this week, they're gonna go ahead and get it together. On the Jaguar side of things, they look the complete opposite. Things have been bad for them. Trevor Lawrence, is he the guy or is he not? For me, I think it's on the play calling and the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
They do have decent pieces, but they just need to build more. and do just maybe build more through the draft. Maybe take this as a tank year because just things aren't really looking good this year. Is Doug Peterson on the hot seat? You know, that's a question that a lot of people have been saying in Jacksonville. They need to figure something out. You know, I thought that they were going to be a decent team this year, but it's not looking good. So I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts, of course.
You know what? That game to me it's so surprising because I really thought the Jags were gonna be good this year.
Yeah.
You know, I really thought they were gonna be good. I mean, the last 2 years they look good. You know, they've been in the games. They've won good games. They've gone and done good things. But I guess I really didn't think about it as much. But they did lose. They lost Calvin Ridley. They've lost a couple good pieces. With Christian Kirk. Yeah, they lost Christian Kirk too, right? He went to Arizona, or where did he go? He went somewhere, but they've lost people.
Yeah, I'll check while you talk.
Yeah, but I mean they've lost some pieces, but I mean they got ETN, you know, and then you have Sunshine with the beautiful hair, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Evan Ingram's been
He's still
hurt
with the
all year.
Jaguars.
That is
He's
true.
still there.
Yeah, I
man.
have,
He just hasn't done anything
Ingram
then.
in my fucking fantasy.
Yeah, I have Ingram in my fantasy. He hasn't done shit. Well, no tight end has done shit really. All of them been
Honestly,
horrible.
yeah. Besides
I
Ferguson.
mean, finally, Travis Kelce showed some life this week, but all the tight ends have been ass. But definitely, I mean, the Jags really upset that they haven't even won a game.
Yeah.
They're still unbeaten. I mean, yet
Defeated.
to win a game. They've just been defeated.
So you
But
got the Colts on this one?
I'm gonna go with the Colts. The Colts are always interesting though, because it doesn't matter who's in there because they stick to the run game and they have a good defense. That bend don't break defense that Gus Bradley always has, you know. But they're always in it. Like last year, Gardner Minshew. I mean, he was one play away from being able to take them to the playoffs. You know, if that running back doesn't drop the ball, and it wasn't Jonathan Taylor, it was that other guy. But they're always in it. And I like the. Oh, isn't he hurt? Anthony Richardson got hurt. He
Joe
hurt his
Flacco,
hip.
yeah.
Yeah, Joe Flacco went in, and you know Joe Flacco lit it up last year. Well, he
Lit it up
came in
against
for a little
Steelers as
bit.
well.
Yeah, so
Oh, of course,
I mean,
Joe Flacco's always going to beat the Steelers.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, Joe Flacco brings a lot of veteran leadership, with a good, pretty solid team, young team, and they always have a good run game. You know, Jonathan Taylor's always running it good. That other running back too, little 1-2 punch. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Yeah, I think this one is a easy pick. Jaguars are just shitting the bed again, like you said.
Yeah.
But there's so much hype over them. They had good playoff showings. They had good season showings, but for some reason they just have not clicked at all.
Yeah.
0-4 start. Colts are taking this one easily. Up next is a game I'm excited for. Hell of a way to start your morning. The Bills at Texans.
That's a
Lewis,
good
Ethan,
one.
which one?
So for me, I'm gonna have to go with the Bills. You know, I said last week that I thought that they were an early Super Bowl pick. You know, they got mauled by the Ravens there. I'm not gonna lie about that. On the other side, I think the Texans have looked not as good as people thought. You know, they're gonna get it together.
Yeah.
But I think right now the Bills are gonna be a little more fired up for this game. It will be a good game. I think it's gonna be a great game. I think both teams will still make the playoffs. You know, despite the Bills last week having a rough
Yeah.
game against the Ravens and the Texans, being a little bit up and down, even though they won last week, but having a struggle with Jacksonville. But I'm going to have to take the Bills, I think it'll be a good game. Josh Allen, he got mauled, last night, Sunday night, but, he always comes back. He's always going to be a top 5 quarterback, as long as he plays, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is.
They got other pieces, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid. They figure it out, so I'm going to have to go with the Bills there.
This one. Oh, you want to go ahead, Lewis?
Nah, go for it.
On this one, I'm excited for this one, but again, I've always said it every week. I'm excited. I'm a big fan of C.J. Stroud. I like C.J. Stroud. I feel like last time when he was trying to little bro Caleb Williams, that was kind of like awkward. I was like, all right, dog, chill out. But then I feel like you could tell like he's meant to be a leader. He's meant to lead a football team. Bills, on the other hand, they're a good team. Everybody thought they were gonna be cooked without Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen's proving us wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I see more hype and I see more excitement from the Texans. I feel like the Texans are gonna take this one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you guys all bring up valid points. I mean, they say good teams don't lose twice, so, I mean, it's hard to see the Bills losing back-to-back. But if I go with my heart, I'm going to go with the Texans. I mean, I said since the beginning that the Texans, to me, was just going to be – if C.J. Stroud could keep going as good as he had his rookie season, and he could only get better. And as we saw, the Bills struggle against the run game. and they I don't know, they're out there struggling. Their secondary looked like they couldn't stop anything. I mean, you had Rasul Douglas being scared as hell, making business decisions, trying not to tackle Derrick Henry, which I wouldn't either. I mean, I would have just rode out the red carpet and let him pass by me. But I mean, man, it's a tough game. But I'm gonna go with my heart and say the Texans, man. I mean, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, and then like I said, the run game. You got Joe Mixon. And their second running back.
He's hurt though, Joe Mixon.
Is he hurt?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
damn.
why they're rolling with former Rams running back Cam Akers this week.
What happened to
Deontay.
to Damon? What was his name? Damon Pierce.
Yeah, Damian Pierce. He's still there.
He's still there,
splitting
man.
carries.
He looked really good for his first year. I just think
He's
they need to get him
slumping
going.
a little bit.
I think they just got to get him going. But honestly, if the Texans really want to be a contender in the AFC, you have to win these games. Like, you have to go against the Josh Allens and win these games. So, but I'm gonna go with the Texans.
You already said yours, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, we have an AFC North showdown. The Ravens taking on the Bengals. You want to go ahead and start, Lewis?
Yeah, that one's tricky. I mean, those rivalry games, they're always good. They're always good games. I feel like Joe Burrow needs to have a good game. He needs to have a comeback showing, a game where he's like, I'm still here, with his Slim Shady hair. But he needs to have a good showing. Like I said, good teams don't lose twice. But, the Ravens are coming off that big high win against the Bills. But it's just going to be it's hard with those division games, honestly. Division games, to me, it's a coin flip. It can go either way. It doesn't matter who's up, who's not, especially with them. They always bring a good offense, good defense, and good run games and good everything. But honestly, I think I'm going to go with the Bengals.
You think?
So for me, I'm gonna have to agree. You know what I mean?
Damn. Okay.
It's finally not September. The Bengals always seem to have these early season slumps, but I think that win is
they always
definitely
come
gonna
back.
energize them against the Panthers. The Ravens look great too. They're gonna have a good season as well. They finally got their season on track, but now it's time for the Bengals to get their season on track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ravens, Bengals, always a good game. Lamar versus Joe. Whoever's better. Anybody can decide. I'm not gonna say anything, but both teams are loaded. Both teams are ready. It's a great rivalry. It's been a great rivalry ever since Joe Burrow's come into the league and brought his buddies from LSU. Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is over there.
Yeah.
And another former Rams offensive coordinator, Zach Taylor, at head coach. You know what I mean? That McVay tree everywhere.
Yeah, man, McVay, something else.
I like the defense too from Cincinnati. So for me, I think that the Bengals. They're gonna shock a lot of people this week and take the dub.
That's crazy. I'm going to have to disagree with y'all. I feel like, yes, the Bengals always struggle for the first couple weeks of this season. That's been what we've been saying for the past couple weeks. I don't think they're going to get it against the Ravens, though. The Ravens, like you said, the momentum off of winning against the Bills. Bills are a tough team. After they fucking beat my Cowboys, embarrassed my Cowboys. My Cowboys almost came up, but they still got the win. I feel like Ravens are going to take that momentum and go 3 straight after this one.
I would think you'd hate them because they whoop you guys, but
I mean, shit happens. I mean,
I don't know.
We play
But
this team like once every 4 years, so I could give a fuck.
I don't know. I don't know. But
The Steelers
Ravens
is
beat 'em.
personal. The Steelers are personal.
All I know, the Raiders beat them. So whatever.
Up next, from one fucking divisional rival to another one, Raiders at Broncos.
The fucking Raiders. The fucking Raiders. I mean, come on, man. We beat them 8 times in a row. They have yet to beat the Las Vegas Raiders. They have not beat us since we were the Oakland Raiders.
What if you jinx yourself, bro?
Man, honestly, fuck. It is what it is if I jinx myself. I mean, fuck. I mean, eight wins, and it is what it is. But that team is ass, though. I mean, their offense looks horrible this week.
60 yards again.
They looked horrible, man. They have a good defense. I mean, Devontae Adams always has a great, competition with Surtain. I mean, it is, but they don't have the same weapons as they used to. They lost, Justin Simmons. They lost Justin Simmons. They lost a couple corners. But I mean, they do. I think they lead the league in sacks right now. So it's gonna be a good test for our O-line. But our O-line this week, they woke up, though. They woke up. We made some changes in the offensive lineup. We had a rookie right guard starting, DJ Glaze. He went out there, looked good. We finally got Cody Whitehair out of there. I know he's only here because our OC is from Chicago. But we brought in Oregon's standout offensive lineman, man, Jackson Powers Johnson. You know, that dude was mauling people. he plays so aggressive. He reminds me of a young Incognito, just dirty. Like the refs were kept going up and telling him, hey, you need to relax and calm down. He was just grimy out there. I mean, we had like 150 yards rushing, which was our season high because our run game's been horrible this year. It's been so bad.
I could feel you on that one.
So bad, man. I mean, we lost Josh Jacobs. You know, I mean, it's hard to lose a key running back player like that, and then try to. Don't get me wrong, I like Zamir White. You know, former Georgia running back, but he just running into rock walls, man. I think our new starting running back is gonna be the old running back for the Vikings. What's his name? Alexander Madison.
Yeah.
So he had a good game with us, but it's gonna be a tough matchup. That defense versus our O line, it's gonna be tough. But for some reason, the Raiders always show out against the Broncos. It's always a tight game, but we always show out. And if Max Crosby comes back, he's gonna have that rookie shaking. You know, our second string DN that replaced Max Crosby this last week, Snowden, had a couple key. He had a key sack to end the game. I think we could generate enough pressure with Wilkins and them. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders, man. It's gonna be a tight one. I think it's gonna be a kind of an ugly game. You know, probably like 17-14, something crazy, something low scoring.
Yeah.
Good defensive battle, but I think we're gonna win by probably a field goal. You know.
I'm gonna have to agree on that one too. I'm gonna have to unfortunately take the Raiders. Would love to pick against them, but no. This is not a team they shouldn't lose to. The Broncos, like you said, the offense is just been looking bad. I feel like it's gonna be a low scoring game, but like an awkward ass score, like a 12 to like 15.
Oh, like the one they just had against the Jets.
Like 10? Not like that.
I don't think it'll be that bad, but I don't know. It's a rivalry game too. You know, you never know. There's been times where they light it up all of a sudden, but if a quarterback, for some reason, our secondary, everybody always looks good against our secondary. I don't know what it is, but I'm hoping that changes. But apparently it didn't with Red Rifle going over there and killing us the other day. But it's gonna be a good game. Yeah, I mean, I just hate the Broncos.
Other than that, up next we got the Cardinals at Niners.
So for this game, I think that the Niners are going to.
Did you even pick on the last one?
Did you pick something?
No, I don't think so.
No, you
Okay,
didn't.
go ahead. Oh shit, my bad. Go ahead.
So for this game, I think that the Raiders are going to go ahead and take it, like y'all said. You know what I mean? The Broncos, they've gotten 2 straight wins against teams that people think are playoff contenders. They're getting something together, right? You know, Sean Payne's a Super Bowl winning coach. He's an experienced head coach. He'll get them together at some point. But the Raiders, I feel like, are more. They have a little more depth than the Broncos do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Gardner Minshew, he has his games, but I think that. He's a solid quarterback, not the best, but, a solid one. I think that they have a lot of positives to look forward to, the Raiders, after their win against the Browns. I think this game should be easy for them. Broncos, like I said, like he said, actually, these division games always look, they're rough, they're hard to predict.
Yeah.
But I think, judging by what last week happened, I think the Raiders are going to have to take it.
All right. And now we can go ahead and transition to the next one. The Cardinals at 49ers. You want to go ahead and start those?
Isn't that a rivalry game too?
Yes.
God, that's crazy.
We've called 3 straight divisional rivalries.
That's gonna be a good game too. But honestly, I feel like the Cardinals are still kind of figuring it out. I mean, they look good. They've had spurts. I mean, but I'm gonna go with a strong defense with the Niners. I mean, that defense swallows you up.
Yeah.
Their offense is a little kind of shaky. I mean, I think all that money they gave Ayuk kind of shook them because honestly, at this point, it's looking like Jennings probably should have got that money. But they look good though. But they're always pretty steady.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with the Niners on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Niners.
Yeah, I feel like this one is an easy one for me. Niners as well. Cardinals are, you know what? Something looks like it's brewing there. But the Niners are the Niners. They've been like one of the top teams for the past couple of years. I still feel like it's going to be another year, unfortunately, with them on the top. Niners are taking this one. And finally, no more divisional rival games, but an odd one. Giants at Seahawks.
I didn't even pick.
Again?
missed him,
I
man.
keep thinking you're picking, bro. My bad pick.
So for this game, I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people might think. You know what I mean? The Cardinals have shown so many flashes, even last year when they went 5, maybe 6-11, something like that. They beat the Eagles. I remember they beat the Steelers. You know, they beat a lot of teams that people thought were in the playoffs. Kyler Murray, he's always running around doing his thing. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a stud. They got a lot of young receivers like Michael Wilson, the tight end Trey McBride. They're figuring things out. They got mauled last week by the Commanders, which was a rough game. On the Niners side of things, that was a great win against the Patriots. For me, I think that the Niners they got to figure it out soon. They're kind of playing low competition teams, and we saw in week 2 when we beat them, on a surprise win. So that was a great win for us.
Rivalry game again. I mean, that's kind of tough.
That game was fun though.
I think the Niners will wake up for this game for sure. I don't know if they'll have as good as a year they've had in previous years. We got to see when they go against the big boys. They haven't looked as steady as they've had the past couple of years. But I think this one should be easy for them to win. So I'm gonna have to go with the Niners to get to 3-2.
Now we can go ahead and transition. Ethan, I'm gonna have you start this time. Giants at Seahawks.
Forget them.
Giants
For
at
real.
Seahawks. I think this should be an easy one for anybody to pick.
Yeah.
The Giants. I think the Giants. They look good. Besides one thing, the quarterback position. Daniel Jones just can't.
I don't know. He
throw.
looked fucking all of a sudden.
The
looked good
white
against us,
Michael
bro.
Vick. I'm like, come on, man.
He can't do.
He's a beast.
He can't do anything for the Giants. Malik Neighbors though is a beast. The defensive line is. They swallow up. I love Kayvon Thibodeau. Dexter Lawrence. Brian Burns. They got a lot of good pieces to look around, but
That's what I noticed when the Cowboys played them. I saw a lot of names. I'm like, oh shit, like they were just good like last year.
Yeah.
But the quarterback position.
They had a good free agency too.
Oh yeah. It's the weakest for them though. Daniel Jones, he can't get anything. Maybe just the Neighbors, but they're kind of overworking that man a little bit. They gotta get other pieces there.
And they have other pieces, but honestly, they dropped a lot of passes this last game. Like, they definitely let Daniel Jones down because they should have beat Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, bro.
Honestly, they should have beat Dallas that other game, but
I agree.
That's
with that.
tough.
I agree with that. But and for the Seahawks side of things, they had a rough loss tonight against the Lions. But I think there's some promise there. Lions are a tough team. They're gonna. It was in Ford Field. They're a Super Bowl contender. That was the Seahawks' first loss of the year. Kenneth Walker's back. He's amazing. He's on my fantasy team again as well. He's tearing it up even in the loss. He had 3 touchdowns tonight. I think he's going to continue his performance. I think the Seahawks are going to win that game.
Yeah, I agree, man. The Seahawks, it's crazy because another quarterback that kind of rejuvenated his career, with Geno Smith. But I think they have a solid team. I mean, their offense is pretty solid. Run game, DK Metcalf. Their defense though, like I swear they draft every fucking player that I want the Raiders to draft like every year. Them and the Eagles, they always draft everybody that I want us to get. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles too. I mean, the Giants. I mean my bad. The Seahawks. I mean,
what the fuck? Our dog's tweaking over here.
I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks, man. I mean, the Giants. They show little glimpses here and there, but I don't know if you guys saw Hard Knocks, but they were stuck between either bringing Saquon or getting rid of Daniel Jones, but it just doesn't. It's not easy to get rid of just any quarterback, because even on where they were in the draft, there was really no. Who were they going to get? Like there was really nobody. So you had to kind of go with the guy that they've had. But the run game's iffy, and they're just force feeding Neighbors like left and right. They're going to get the kid hurt. I mean, he got hurt towards the end. Yeah,
I mean, he did the toe tap and he landed straight on his cranium.
Yeah, that was
That
crazy.
shit looked ugly.
I mean, not everybody's Devontae Adams. You see Devontae Adams doing that Michael Jackson move and catching the ball. But, I mean, yeah, I think it's an easy dub for the Seahawks.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna have to agree there too. Giants, yes. Cowboys. That game was just horrible. It was an interestingly horrible game because there's flags after every game. Both teams had their ups but had their downs. Cowboys got the win, but shouldn't have been that close.
She calling me?
Yeah.
What, baby? Who's next?
Well, I gotta do my fucking thing real quick.
All right, go for it.
Uh,
Come here. We're on commercial break. Come here.
You finished your
Hurry.
pizza, or no?
not yet.
Oh, you didn't finish your meal?
No.
Oh, shit.
Did she actually? Tell her to wait. Tell her to wait.
No,
We're almost done.
I'm almost done.
We're recording.
No.
Okay.
You don't have shoes here. There's a lot of spinas. Okay, tell her I'll call her right now. You talk to her. Tell her to show you Genesis. Why is there a bunch of Q-tips outside?
That's what he uses for.
Go inside, baby. Go inside because the dogs are going to bite you.
That's what he uses for the.
They fell.
Oh.
Were you confused?
Careful with the spinas. Go, baby.
Here comes this guy.
Alright. So for the Giants and Seahawks, yeah, fuck the Giants. But Giants, yes, they probably could have easily gotten the win against us. We struggled. A lot of flags after every freaking play. It was an ugly win for the Cowboys. Giants probably could have came away with the win. Here, though, I think the Seahawks are going to take it. Seahawks, I feel like, are a more stronger team. Giants are just all over the place. Should be an easy win for the Seahawks. Everybody fucking picked her. Okay,
Yeah.
up next, starting off, well, we already went through your favorite team. We got the Packers at Rams. Ethan, you want to start?
So for this game, it was a rough showing for the Rams last week against the Bears, but I think there were some positives to look forward to. Our team is still, very injured.
I just fuck up.
I think that for this game,
So you can go now.
the last couple of years we've lost against the Packers, but those games have always been in Lambeau Field. It's not easy to win in Lambeau Field when it's freezing cold and you're a California team. So I think the NFL did us a favor this year by putting that game in Los Angeles. The last time we played them in Los Angeles, it was 2018. One of my favorite games I think I've ever seen as a Rams fan. We beat them 27-30. I don't think they looked as good as people expected against the Vikings. They almost came back, but Jordan Love 3 interceptions. That was pretty rough there. I think that we're gonna bounce back. I think we're gonna have a good game. We're at home. It's gonna be nice and warm for us. We're gonna be able to control our offense a little bit better. It was a little windy in Chicago too, which led to a couple missed kicks by our kicker. So I think that we're gonna be able to bounce back, get this win, and head into the bye week, get healthy, and see when Puka, Cup, Jonah Jackson, our entire team,
Half your team.
Yeah, your whole
comes
team,
back.
yeah.
So Rams win that one.
You, Lewis?
I'm sorry, man, but I'm going to have to go with the Packers. Jordan Love's coming back from getting his little injury, but, I think he's doing good. I think he looks good. You got that run game with Josh Jacobs. Got a couple good weapons, His offensive core, his wide receiver core, surprisingly pretty good. But I'm gonna go with the Packers. I like the Rams, but like you just said, your whole team is hurt.
Yeah.
I am just gonna have to go with them.
Yeah, I'm about to agree here too. Packers, I feel like they're more well-rounded. That Bears loss was ugly. The Niners win was dope because where were we? Packers at Steelers. Packers at Rams.
It was your pick.
It was
Yeah,
my
it's your
pick.
turn, yeah,
Okay.
I went.
So I'm gonna have to go for the Rams. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, the Packers. Unfortunately, I feel like the Rams are gonna kill you injury-wise. Packers are more of a tough team. Malik Willis is actually stepping up as a backup quarterback. He struggled with Tennessee, but now it seems like he's working it with the Packers. I'm gonna have to pick the Packers on this one. Did everybody pick? Because I forgot.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
really good.
Up next, we have our Sunday night football game. Actually, my Dallas Cowboys. I'm finally wearing Cowboys merch. Also, I like the Rams
Thank you.
baseball
Thank
jersey.
you.
We got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in Heinz Field. I'm worried, but I'm gonna have you guys start. Whoever y'all want.
The steel curtain, baby.
What
Gotta go because I don't like the Cowboys.
This guy.
Just because, I'm gonna Stephen A this shit and say, I don't like the Cowboys. Just simple as that. I'm just kidding. I have just too many Cowboy fans I gotta deal with all the time, and they're really annoying and delusional. And they sit down when they pee.
This guy.
But no, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. That defense, your offense is kind of shaky. Like it's good in spurts. You had your guys' star receiver was out mostly all offseason. There's really no
connection.
chemistry right now. It's getting there. I feel like you need those live reps, and that's what they're lacking. But that offense, they'll hit you, they'll strike you quick, but that your guys' defense will let another team score just as quickly, But the Steelers, that defense, you could always rely on them, bringing in a good defensive battle, and Mike Tomlin Mike Tomlin's just a good coach, man. I mean, you never really see a bad Steeler team.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just don't want to see Dallas win. So I'm a little serious.
You, Ethan?
So for me, I don't hate the Dallas Cowboys. You know, I root for the Cowboys. You know, for him. You know what I mean. But I think that this week, you know, they're stepping into Heinz Field. It's not even called Heinz Field anymore, but you know, it's always going to be
Bro,
Heinz
I'm
Field.
not calling it that name. It's
I
Heinz
know,
What
it's,
is
it's
it
always
now?
gonna, Acrisure Stadium.
Who the fuck?
I
No,
know, yeah.
Heinz Field.
But to
Heinz
me, it's
Field.
always going to be Heinz Field. You know, I have a connection to
Horrible.
Pittsburgh because I love, you know, my favorite hockey team is the Penguins, you know, which the season's starting soon. They've surprised me, honestly, with their wins and what they've done. You know, I did say that I thought they're kind of fraudulent, but I think last week when they almost came back on the Colts, kind of showed me that maybe their offense can play a lot better than I thought they did. And, you know, I think everybody's known this for the past maybe like 15, 16, 18 years, but the Steelers' defense is always going to be good. You know what I mean? They're a well-coached team. Mike Tomlin, I feel like, is a better coach than Mike McCarthy. I think the Cowboys' offense was a little bit shaky last week against the Giants, and I think that's what's going to hurt them the most. It'll be a good game for sure, but I think that Pittsburgh's going to go ahead and take this game on Saturday Night Football.
And for this one, okay, so I can finally talk about the game. Cowboys, they got the win, which is good. We needed a win. 2 weeks lost. Saints completely just murdering us. Ravens got on top of us, and then we eventually caught up. We couldn't catch up in time, though. We stuck to the L. A win is a win. We needed the win, but that was an ugly-ass win. Flag after every damn play.
That was bad.
Offense just wasn't clicking. That CeeDee Lamb touchdown, the 55-yarder, was something that I needed to see, something that we would see the past couple years. Other than that, though, offense was still kind of slow. Defense, for some reason, just kind of stop the run. But I do have to give out a shout-out to Demarion Overshown, not because he's a Texas Longhorn, but he's one of our linebackers that got drafted last year.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he got drafted last year, but he got hurt, and he couldn't play his rookie year. Started this year. He was flying all over the freaking field.
14. Right?
13.
13, yeah.
Yeah,
he was.
14 is
He was
Marquise
everywhere.
Bell.
Yeah, he's good too.
Marquise
He
Bell's
used to
good
be
too.
a safety, right?
Yeah, he used to be
in
he
college?
used to be a linebacker, and I forgot.
No, he used to be a safety. He's a linebacker now.
He used to be one of them.
Yeah, well, he's a beast too. Small school, right? From Florida or something like
I
that?
believe so.
He was good though.
He's a beast. He was hurt, so he didn't play this
Yeah.
past week. But Demarion Overshown looked good, and that's something we need because now Micah Parsons is out.
Yeah.
Steelers don't have that much crazy of an offense, but that's our star player. And as it is, seems like our secondary can't stop the pass either. So it feels like at this point we only had Micah, and now Micah's gone. I'm still picking the Cowboys up. Week 1, I told y'all I'm gonna be picking the Cowboys because I don't want to jinx against my team. Of course, if it comes to the circumstance that the Cowboys are like 0 and like 12, then of course I'm not gonna pick them. But season's still young, and anything can happen. I got my Cowboys. And then last, our Monday Night Football game, we got the Saints and Chiefs.
So for me, I think for this game, it's gonna be a good game. You know, the Saints they've had some injuries. You know, the past 2 weeks. You know, because they started out so strong. I don't think they're overrated by any means. You know, I think just the injuries have hurt them a lot, as it has a lot of teams this year. You know what I mean? Ever since they've incorporated the West Coast offense, it's become like fiery over there in New Orleans. You know what I mean? But their offense has struggled with injuries. So and you know, on the Chiefs side of things, you know, they just lost their top receiver. You know, Rashid Rice.
Yeah, by Patrick Mahomes.
mhm.
That was bad.
I think this game's honestly a toss-up, guys. I think this game's been really good. You know, I like the Saints. I like the Chiefs. You know, it's two teams that I like watching. I think it's gonna be really entertaining. It's on Monday Night Football. It's a good way to start your week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know who to pick in this one, but for me, I'm gonna have to go ahead and take the Chiefs. You know, they're finding their ways to win,
Yeah.
and you know, Patrick Mahomes hasn't been as good this year, but I think that I think it's time to wake up. And that's kind of crazy to say, even though they're 4-0, you know.
Yeah.
But once they wake up, I think it's over for the league. So hopefully they do it here. I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
You lose.
It's gonna be a really good game, but damn, Derek Carr has a lot of experience playing against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's beat them a couple times, not very often. But usually when we have, it's because our defense was dominant, and that's the one thing the Saints have always had is a dominant defense.
Yeah.
They had a couple injuries, you know, this last couple weeks, but they'll get DeMario Davis back, Alontae Taylor, their corners, the corner nickel, fucking probably one of the best in the league right now. You know, got Lattimore out there. Paulson Adebo is crazy. The Honey Badger's still out there.
Yeah.
So I think that Kansas City has pulled out these lucky wins, but I think you can't get lucky when you have such a good defense out there, and then you have a team that is like so likely to score as fast as the Chiefs. Because if the Saints have showed us anything, is they could score fast.
Yeah.
That Clint Kubiak 49er offense ish. You know, they're quick to score, man. Quick to score. Derek Carr has a gun. He's always had it. Just always had a horrible line and a horrible defense. And I feel like these last couple of games, besides even the Eagle game was an ugly game. I mean, they lost those games and they could have won them. Really, they could have gone either way. Like we said earlier, the NFL's just been kind of crazy. But I'm gonna go with the Saints. To be honest, I mean, I don't like Kansas City because they're in my division as a Raider fan. They're in my division, so but I feel like they've been getting lucky with ref help, other teams making shitty mistakes, and I feel like the Saints need to come back. You know, good teams don't lose twice. Like I've said a couple times. You know, they lost to the Eagles, they lost to the Falcons in that ugly game past weekend. So I think this is the weekend where the Saints, you know, show everybody that they are a good team. You know, and their division, surprisingly, you know, is looking pretty decent right now. You know, the Bucks look good, but I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Saints.
I think, me personally, I think it's going to be a shootout. It's going to show, like you said, maybe it's going to be a proof that the Saints are a team to be a contention with. But I think the Chiefs are going to edge out the Saints. And they're going to barely get them out by like at least 3-4 points. Another Patrick Mahomes done.
Yeah, they're going to get saved by a ref.
I don't know about
Probably,
all that,
yeah, probably.
Patrick Mahomes, you know.
No, I'm just trying to pick something different from y'all. So I was like, I feel like this was the safest pick to be something where like I could take the risk, but it won't bite me in the butt.
Yeah.
Other than that, though.
Usually like that, though.
Shut the. All right. Other than that, though, this is your cue because my lovely niece is waiting for you.
I know. Well, thank you guys for having me.
Yes, sir.
Next time I'm gonna come around. We'll definitely do this again. I'll see you guys. Have a good night.
Bro, I'll see you in a month.
Enjoy your
bro.
guys' wiener. Because you guys are going to Wiener.
We're going to
Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel after this. I'll see you in a month, bro.
I'll see you in a month for your birthday.
Oh yeah, my birthday's coming up good. So unfortunately, my brother had to go be a dad, so he's not gonna join us for the college football picks. First off, Texas is on a bye actually, so we won't be seeing Texas this time. Michigan, who do they play? You told me Washington, right?
Yeah, Michigan.
College National Championship rematch. Yeah. Go ahead.
Michigan plays Washington in the national championship rematch. You know what I mean? I think it'll be it might be a decent game. You know, Michigan has let up some points in garbage time and all that. But Washington has looked a little bit like not as good as they were last year. You know, without Michael Penix Jr. And their head coach Caleb DeBoer, who's gone to Alabama, the #1 ranked Alabama, actually.
I guess, yeah.
But you know, I think they'll still put up a fight with us. You know, we haven't really looked like the national champions. But, you know, that's college football for you. You know, things happen. But at least we're still, you know, on a positive record and looks like we could make at least somewhere in the playoffs, you know. So, I think this should be an easy win for us. You know, I'm going to take Michigan, of course, always.
And then Michigan and MSU, who do they play?
They play nobody. It's a bye week.
Oh, it's a bye week, that's right.
But
and
UTEP plays Sam Houston this Thursday, which is what we'll be attending, actually.
we should be attending. Hopefully we can. Should be the whole gang, my girlfriend and one of my friends. Yeah, should be dope. UTEP, on the other hand, though, was like 0-4. So, and Sam Houston State's 3-1. They actually defeated your NMSU Aggies.
Yeah.
So, it should be interesting. I think Caden McConnell's getting the start. I think they're actually going to be benching Skylar Locklear. They benched Skylar Locklear last week against Colorado State. So, goes to show that Coach Walden is still willing to, like, make some changes for a good season.
Yeah.
Which is good, because I feel like Dinosaur Demo would have just fucking give up.
Yeah.
We should be there at the game. Last time we were there, me and Thrash were there, was the Southern Utah game. That game was fun as fuck, though. Like, we lost, but it was such a fun game.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, hopefully my UTEP Miners get the win.
Speaking
Speaking
of
of UTEP
UTEP
Miners, though, we already discussed it, no? Yeah, the whole fucking conference change. Never mind. Other than that, hope you guys like the new setup. We'll probably keep it. Next week would just be us before we get our next two special guests. Hopefully.
And I'm going to win this in college football, guys. Just wait for that.
Yeah, probably most likely that will be defended in a college football tournament. Other than that, though, my name is XiX from XiX Sports Network.
I am Ethan from Mistaken for Bacon.
This is Maxine. We got Max over there. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys next time. Oh, all right. I'm hungry.
Yeah.